what you need to be is 16 and have 50 hours of driving. If you are 16, don't have 50 hours, you need to, first take the segment 2 class. That's with me. Then you got to get your 50 hours in. Some of you are there. Some of you 17 have 30 hours. Some of you have 53 hours. So you want to get your driving hours in as soon as possible. And like many of you, your mom and dad go to work, they come home, you're trying to get drives to school, drives after school. You might try to drive on the weekend. Some of us looking at your hours. Looks like Eric, you got a lot of hours driving. That's great. Jacob, you got a lot of hours driving. That's good. So you just want to get your hours in and be ready for your test. We'll go over some information on the test too. So I just want to know who I'm dealing with. Most of you, I drove, some I did not. So it's always important. All right, let's go ahead and go over the segment 2 pre-test. I'll read the question, go over the answer. To limit your risk during the first 6 months of supervised driving, you should avoid carrying passengers because we're all social, we all talk, we love to interact. Number 2, if you cannot prevent a person who has been drinking from driving, you should refuse to ride with them. But it's something called peer pressure. You can't say no to your friends. So as a result, you make poor decisions. So we want to make better decisions. Next, you have identified the drivers ahead of you as possibly a drunk driver. The first thing you should do is you want to maintain a safe following distance. Next, country roads are the most dangerous. They're unpaved, soft shoulders, so you got to be really careful. When do fatal crashes to young drivers most often occur? They happen on daytime and on dry roads. Please make sure you check that. You're going to see a question on that. Impaired depth perception and drinking drivers causes the inability to judge distance. The most dangerous time period for young driver fatal car crashes is 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Next, 80% of young driver fatal car crashes occur during what type of weather? This is fair weather. I'm going to go to 25 and then we'll rock on from there. I may do more. On which 2 days of the week do most young driver fatal car crashes happen? This is Friday and Saturday night. Good evening, E. Hey, how you doing? I'm going to go ahead and make you my person to control everything. I believe, E, you're already my moderator. All right, let's keep going. The percentage of young male drivers involved in fatal crashes is basically at an all-time high. So we want to make sure our young drivers are taking their time. The most dangerous type of crashes, hold on one second. Yes, all-time high. Number 11, which of the following is the self-imposed anxiety of aggressive driving? This is, I'm going to get there, I'll be late if I don't hurry. So if you tell yourself you're going to be late, then you're going to drive faster, more aggressive. Next, and this is really important for all of you because you are under 25, right? Research indicates that a young driver's brain is not fully developed until age 25. So all of you are under 25, you've got 10 more years, 9 more years. So within that time, you've got to be able to, Ryder, if you can hear me, just type yes into the chat. You've got to make sure that you are really practicing good, safe driving. You're watching your mom, you're watching your dad. Next, for every 500 miles driven, the average driver has at least one near collision. Maybe you sideswipe someone. Maybe you're tailgating. Maybe you ran a light. Maybe you didn't use your blinker and someone pulls out. So you always want to be aware. Let's keep going. You must leave the roadway at a high rate of speed. Thank you. Must leave the roadway at a high rate of speed. You want to search for an open spot, something soft. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on? What's going on, Mr. P? All right, let's keep going. Which of the following is not a principle for controlling the consequences of a vehicle crash? This is B, hitting an approaching vehicle rather than a stationary one. Next, the single largest category for error young drivers is improper search. You got to look ahead. You got to see what's going on. You are traveling on a 2-lane road. An oncoming driver drifts into your lane and is headed straight to you, which is a good rule to remember. You can almost always turn to miss an obstacle more quickly than you can stop. Next, you're about to be struck from behind at a stop sign. You should release your brakes. Next, if you decide to leave the roadway to avoid a hazard or emergency vehicle, right here, 14, errors of inexperience. 15, search for an open space. 16, it's better to hit an approaching vehicle than a stationary one. Thank you, Brooke. Let's keep eating. Okay, let's go up to 20. If you decide to leave the roadway to avoid a hazard or emergency vehicle, you're welcome. You should keep in mind that you may not be unable to re-enter the road. So you got to really be careful. Some shoulders are very soft. Your front tires will dig in, and then you can roll the car over. 21, 2 or more drugs together increases its effect. The first principle of controlling the consequences of a crash is to avoid a head-on crash. Next, the crumple zone. It's the zone in a vehicle to reduce the force. It's the front right, front left, rear right, the corner of a vehicle. On average, after how many drinks does alcohol start to impair a person's ability to drive? 1. Straddling the center lane, driving too slow, drifting in the lanes are common signs of a drinking driver. Next, inertia is the main reason that safety belts are important. When a vehicle hits a fixed object like a tree, the most important factor in determining it is the speed of the vehicle. Rubbernecking is a term used to describe a person who is maintaining eye contact while looking at a crash scene and passing it. I'm going to go 50 and then I'm going to stop. The danger of driving and using marijuana is that it lessens your ability to maintain the vehicle. The best time to address the distraction that affects driving is before the driving begins. The driver goal should be to eliminate that issue 100%. You want to eliminate it. Next, to reduce distractions while driving before putting the vehicle in motion, you should secure all loose objects. 32, aggressive driving is driving in a selfish, bold, or pushy manner. Talking on a cell phone while driving makes you as impaired as a drunk driver with a BAC of 0.08. For young drivers, the problem of being distracted is made worse by the simple fact of lack of experience. For 16-year-old drivers, the risk of a fatal crash involving increases when you have 3 or more passengers is 150%. Self-imposed anxiety are related to aggressive driving. The first thing you should do if in a vehicle in front of you signals or flashes its brake lights is to slow down. Constant rushing, lane jumping, ignoring certain road signs is a regulation called rush in. So if you're late to work, you're late coming home, you're late to school, you're going to rush in. You're going to cut people off. You're going to speed through the neighborhood. You're going to speed through the school parking lot. You're going to blow through that yellow light and then hit someone walking. I have 10 more. Constantly ridiculing or criticizing other drivers to self and passengers and closing the gap to deny entry is called total aggression. Don't respond, don't engage, and choose to be tolerant is a formula for dealing with anger. When confronted by an aggressive driver, the first thing you should do in order to avoid becoming an incident of road rage is to make every attempt to get out of their way. Age group influence is called peer pressure. Drivers must always keep in mind that driving can be affected by emotional effects. Let's keep going. While backing your car, you should see clearly in the direction your car is moving. The best to do this by looking out your rear window. A driver loses control, so here's her emotion and attempts to harm another driver. This is called road rage. Blind spots in areas behind you cannot see, and rear mirrors. To offset this problem, you should be looking over your shoulder. Next, you can reduce the chances of hitting something in front of you at night by driving slower. 48, after making turns to the right of the intersection, you should quickly adjust your speed. You should adjust your speed to the flow of the traffic. What is the only way to reduce your body's BAC? This is time. 50, when driving fast around a curve, your car will tend to move to the outside of the curb. I need you to tap in 3 things you learned, please, and thank you. Tap in 3 things. Guys, we had a great class going on right now, and I want you to ask a question. Songs that always make you happy, okay? Songs that make you happy. What are those songs? Yes, America's a Beautiful Place. What are some songs that make you happy? If you go 1 over the speed limit, you'll be stopped by the police. Guys, put in what you learned, please. I need 3 things. I'm calling on random people. Put in 3 things you learned. We always love our country, and I think that's really important. I'm not a professional. We did get an email this morning that we're going to raise the flag in front of our company door. I don't know proper flag etiquette. We have a couple of soldiers, and they know the proper etiquette of raising a flag. So I'm not an expert in that, but we have 2 people who served in the military, and we respect them. And, you know, it's really important that we all work together. Put in more questions. You get better at any type of driving or racing is going to the racetrack. If you don't go to the racetrack, then you won't be a good driver. You've got to learn how your car responds. How does it stop? How does it shift? What power do you need? Do you need more low-end power? Do you need more high-end power? Right? So those things are really important. Okay? Driving on the street, just like driving on the track, you can lose control very easily if you overturn the wheel. You want to aim high and look right down the track. The fastest I've been on the track is about 151 miles an hour. Okay? And that's pretty cool. It's unsafe to pull over. Can I drive a mile? You want to pull over immediately. You will get arrested. They do have videotape. So as soon as you see the lights coming on, you pull over to the right. All right, let's go ahead and keep it going. I asked you to put in real information. And Abigail, I need you to read 51 to 61.
51. Which of the following is not an alternative for your drinking and driving?
Keep going.
If you find yourself driving another driver's lifestyle, you should move out of the way. B, as soon as it is safe.
Yes, always get out of the way. Keep going.
If you want to stop or slow down gradually when driving on ice, you should B, use light and steady pressure on the brakes.
Always. Keep going.
When an emergency vehicle with the siren sounding and lights flashing is approaching, you should A, move to the side of the road or shoulder and stop.
Always pull over and stop. If you don't, you will get a ticket. Keep going.
When a traffic signal light changes from green to yellow, you should stop before entering the intersection if you can do so safely.
Yes.
You are stopped at a red light. You have checked the intersection to see that it's clear of vehicles and people. Unless the sign tells you not to, you may then B, turn right.
Correct.
The most common effect of drugs on driving involves the perception of speed and distance.
Keep going.
When approaching a curve, you should slow down before entering the curve.
That's correct.
During a heavy rainstorm, friction between a vehicle and the road is reduced most when the tires are not balanced. B.
You want to ride on the 59. Let's make sure we got this. Ride on the water instead of on the road. Okay, keep going.
If your vehicle is skidding, you should keep the steering wheel from moving until you're out of the skid.
No, you want to turn into the direction you want the car to go. Get me up to 70. I'm going to call someone else.
The 3 degrees of aggressive driving are Russian, total aggression, and violence.
Thank you.
The vast majority of young drivers' crashes in Michigan occurred during fair weather conditions where the roadway was dry.
Thank you.
The crumple zone is the term that describes the area of the vehicle that absorbs energy in a crash.
Yes.
The highest risk of danger would be driving at 5 miles per hour above the speed limit on dry pavement.
Correct.
Which of the following are the riskiest action to take? B. Sending a text message.
Yes.
A vehicle crosses the center line and is coming towards you in your lane. You should attempt an emergency stop only if there is enough room to stop and you cannot pull off the road.
Thank you.
Due to lack of driving experience, the largest category for young drivers' fatal crashes is speeding.
Yes.
Before you purchase a vehicle, you should research the vehicle's crashworthiness.
Yes. Keep going.
The teens' crash risk is higher if they own their own vehicle. False teens are at less risk if they own their own vehicle because they are most responsible in driving.
It is true. Once they own their own vehicle, you're going to speed more. Last one for you.
However, how often is alcohol a factor in a vehicle crash deaths? 1 out of 10 crashes.
Dun, dun, dun. Let me double check that. It is 1 out of 3. Okay, go ahead and type in what you learned, please. Type in what you learned. Hey guys, we want to keep the energy coming. What's going on? Hey, how you doing? Songs that make you happy. What songs make you happy? We're reviewing some of the questions. But is it unsafe to pull over if I can drive a mile away? No, you'll get pulled over immediately and the police won't like you. America is beautiful. All countries are beautiful. Do you have students? I am in person, right? We're doing a virtual class right now. Hey, how you doing? What's happening? What's going on, man? Tell me what you're learning right now. What questions do you have? Go ahead, put those in. This is my custom driver's ed class. We are talking about defensive driving. What questions do you have? Go ahead, put your questions in. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and charge my phone. I'll get back on about an hour. Thank you, E.